Hey, what's going on? It's Matt from Unschooling Emily. Just a quick video tonight. It is late. I just got through driving 10 hours. I got another 18-hour drive tomorrow. I feel like a truck driver. Only a Mini Cooper. It doesn't really feel like a big rig, if you know what I mean. I did a video earlier on the unintended consequences of punishments. What about the unintended consequences of rewards? Rewards must be great. Praise. High fives, gold stars, baby. That must be a great thing. It's positive. It's positive reinforcement. How can a reward? How could there be consequences of a reward? How could there be? That is just upsetting. I'm trying to be nice with these rewards. I'm trying to be a good parent. How could there be consequences? Well, there could definitely be consequences. And for example, I think here's probably one of the most common things. Here's two of the most common things. First, we'll talk about specific to education. Now, one thing that's commonly said is finish your homework, and then, as a reward, you get to watch TV or watch a movie or go do anything that's fun. But first, you have to finish. You have to work on your schoolwork. You have to read. You have to write. You have to work on some math problems. You got to do all that stuff in order to obtain a reward. What does that do? Well, it turns the activity of doing schoolwork and learning and reading and writing and doing all those kind of productive things and fulfilling things and things that make your brain a lot more special. It turns all those things into a job. Just like with work. The moment that someone is given a reward or some kind of compensation for doing something, they will immediately start liking doing whatever activity they're doing less. It's human nature. Now there are certainly exceptions to that, but for the most part, that is what happens. And this is something, I'm not just saying this is a generalization. This is something that's been studied, and it pertains even more to children than it does adults. As soon as you start to give them a reward for some kind of activity, they immediately stop enjoying the activity, and they stop having the internal motivation to want to participate in that activity. And it glorifies the reward. If you're giving TV as a reward, you are saying subconsciously that television is awesome. And you make television more attractive, or movies more attractive, or whatever you make the reward is made more attractive. If you want to make a reward your kid by allowing them to read. Okay, if you watch television for 2 hours, I'll let you read. And it sounds silly and ridiculous, but I'm just talking about the psychology of reward. That's how it works. And you can play these Jedi mind tricks with kids. I mean, obviously, they're not idiots, they're not imbeciles. They can pick up on these things, and they know when certain things are ridiculous. If you tell them to eat all your ice cream or you don't get any broccoli, they'll probably look at you with a puzzled look on their face. But the reason they give you that puzzled look is because they have been so conditioned to believe that broccoli is bad and work. And that was the second example I was going to use, was food, because a lot of parents today are making their kids eat what they perceive as being healthy, like vegetables, in order to obtain a reward, like ice cream. So anyway, to take that into consideration, you have to be really cautious about what you make into a reward, what you make into a punishment, because there are these unintended psychological consequences. And always, I think that the main important thing is to focus on what is this going to make the child want to do? What is this reinforcing? It's not about getting a child to do something, it's about getting a child to want to do something. And if a child wants to learn, you can't possibly keep them from doing it. They will be an unmovable, unshakable force trying to go out there and learn about new things. And they'll do it all their own. They won't even need a teacher. A teacher will be just something backup from time to time to explain more complicated things to them that they're having trouble grasping. But they will go through this world and they will teach themselves remarkable things if they want to learn. And so that's kind of what we're hoping that we instill in Emily. And not just learning about math and how to do math problems and read books and things like that. I mean, those are great and all. But learning real skills and valuing karate class and learning about martial arts and putting that on the same playing field as learning how to do complex mathematical equations. Why? Because people make a living teaching martial arts just like they make a living doing complicated math problems. And I can't honestly say that someone teaching martial arts classes or something, that was just an example, because Emily seems to have a big kung fu fetish. I can't honestly say that the people doing complicated math problems have a better life than people who are teaching martial arts classes or something like that. I can't honestly say that. So, hopefully Emily will have a chance to develop skills and abilities and knowledge in areas that are a good fit for her. And I won't go off on a tangent, but I think it's a little barbaric. It borders on child abuse to put a kid who likes to be outdoors and likes karate and kung fu and playing and getting dirty and doing all this kind of stuff and then forcing them to be in a classroom doing what they're not very good at for how many hours a week? 30 something hours a week? This is a human life here that we're inflicting this punishment on, forcing them to fit into a mold that they don't fit into. Anyway, in tangent, that's my video for tonight. And sorry I haven't done a video in a while, but I will try to pick that up maybe Wednesday. Anyways, I'm out. This is Matt, unschooling Emily, and I'll catch you guys in another video soon.